Hi, my name is Isaac Miller, and I'm getting ready to share some powerful information with you to help you stay motivated as we all endure this coronavirus. Now, I just finished running 6.5 miles. I'm a fitness trainer, motivational speaker, and an author. And I refuse to let an inanimate object, an inanimate source, something that cannot be cured, to defeat me. Meaning, you cannot defeat my mind. So whatever happens, we have to have the right perspective. So we want to have a healthy fear, but we don't want to let the fear control us. And this message is for everyone, but in particular, entrepreneurs. We might lose millions of jobs, but even if you lose the job, I'm in that situation right now. I've already become resourceful. Do you know I have set myself up to make more money under this crisis than under normal circumstances by being resourceful and preempting things. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about certain things that I'm doing. You're welcome to reach out to me. But here's what I want to say. Use your brain. Your brain is not like a battery pack where it runs out of energy. Because that is motivation. What you have to do is plug yourself up to your true source of inspiration, which is self-belief and doing things God's way. Look at this charger. What is it without being plugged in? Even if it's like this is you believing in yourself, but you still have to plug it into a socket or energy source. And as long as electricity is coming through, you will stay inspired forever. So that starts with self-belief and going to the Creator to do things His way. Here is what I want to say to you today, that we need to have the right perspective, meaning whatever happens, all we need to focus on is making sure we're plugged up to the true source. And I just told you what that true source is. And also looking for ways to help other people, becoming resourceful. Not shutting our brains down, using this genius brain that God gave all of us. And most importantly, not being selfish. And also recognizing what all of this truly means. Now, that is a topic for another day. But here's what I want to share with you. So, I had a situation where I had to figure out how to handle things with my clients. And I've come up with some preemptive measures. And what's significant is that you have to believe in yourself. You can't panic. When you panic and you seem unsure, as a leader, people will follow that. So as an entrepreneur, things may not be going exactly the way you want. You may not make as much money as you want. You may make more money than you anticipated. But always have multiple ways of creating income. And really, we reap what we sow from the standpoint of we should already be doing this. Because we have to understand this. Life is unpredictable. That is a principle. Murphy's Law, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So what we need to do is stay encouraged by feeding our minds, by looking for ways to win. And not just for ourselves, but for other people. And the more that we do that, no matter what happens, my wife mentioned this the other day. She said, if we lose everything, we're going to be okay. And that is true because I have the information in my mind of how to rebuild. You see, a true crisis is when you have no control over what happens. And that is no one's fault when you think about it. So right now, we shouldn't wallow in misery. Now we should be concerned about others and recognize this crisis for what it is. But we need to focus on how to stay afloat because the bills are still coming in. So you can't shut down. You can't depend on the government to do things for you. See, I've developed this concept since I was a little boy. I hated government assistance. And I like to go within because I know that I'm powerful. And in order to release your power, you must first be in power. To illustrate, if you saw me working out and bench pressing 400 pounds, although you might be impressed by that and watch me do that, you do not build any muscle until you get under that weight yourself. So you don't realize you have this same power to get strong. Maybe not as strong, or maybe even stronger, but you have to do the work yourself. So while you're waiting for assistance, make sure you're also assisting yourself and others. Go deep. Think about all kinds of ways and do it from the 5 domains of life. How can you make yourself better spiritually right now? How can you make yourself better physically right now? How can you make yourself better mentally right now? How can you make yourself better emotionally right now? How can you make yourself better socially right now? So socialize with the right people. You don't want to have negative thoughts every single day. Positive, uplifting things. What are you reading? How are you viewing this current crisis? Are you looking at this as a possible source of joy? Or are you saying that this is over, we're done? You control what perspective you have. What are you doing with your body right now? Even if you can't go to the gym, there's professionals that will come to you. Or you can do what you can right in your own home. What are you doing? How are you eating? Think about these things. What's your emotional domain? What makes you happy? This is why we cannot put our source in this world or in monetary things. That is not the true source of happiness. So we have to plug ourselves back up to our true electricity, our true motivation, so that we can stay inspired. So this calls for us to go within and not out. Meaning, recognize that no matter what happens, you still control your mind. And this is what I'm asking you to do, to join me in doing this, to be as positive as you can and recognize no matter what happens, after every crisis becomes opportunity. And here's what's beautiful about opportunity. It varies. Some of those opportunities are going to be created by God himself, and some opportunities are going to come from us. We decide. Do not shut down. Do not let fear conquer you. Do not let it encapsulate your mind. We are only born with 2 types of fear. The fear of a loud sound and the fear of falling. All other fears are created by something that you were exposed to, because everything is conditioned, is it not? So look at different ways where you can create money, not for yourself, but other people. Look at ways to solve a problem. What I'm doing right now is thinking of ways that I can help other people. And one of the ways that I'm doing that right now is giving you some motivation. I believe this with all my heart, and I believe in you, who's ever watching this video, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're giving up, especially if you feel like there is no hope for you to just endure. And make no mistake about it, what I'm saying is not to be misconstrued with saying that this world isn't collapsing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm encouraging you to do is to stay plugged up to the true source of inspiration and recognize things for what they are. Now, again, that is a topic for another day. And I can't help but be reminded of the Titanic. And you remember there was a scene at the end on a sinking ship where some people were playing the violin and some people were jumping in the water, panicking. And here's what's important to understand. You had various mindsets. Some people saying, you know what, since it's going to happen anyway, I'm going to go out being who I am. Some people are saying, let me escape. Some people are saying there is no escape. Look at that same scene. Look at it right now. What is the true source of escape right now? When you really think about it, what is it? Go back to that main source that I talked about. That's what we have to plug into. We have to recognize this, that once we plug into our main source, which is God, and believing in ourselves, then we recognize that we're not in control. But what we can control is what we do and how we respond, whether it's good or bad. We're not in control of how things happen when it comes to an injustice, a natural disaster such as a hurricane. We can't stop that. But what we can do, we can decide what we put into our mind. We can decide who we socialize with. We can decide how we take care of ourselves right now. We can decide how we allow our emotional domain to feel as far as being happy. We can decide how we look at what's going on. And what I'm encouraging you to do is to step up. Don't let your business fail. Don't just depend on the government. Look for ways to win. And even if it Even if you do go out of business, maybe it's a good thing, but don't go with that approach. Give it your all. This reminds me of how I felt with my father when he abandoned me, when I didn't know what I was going to do, when I refused to accept government assisted programs because I went within. And even though I didn't receive the rewards right away, I stuck with it. You have to stick with it. You have to keep doing the things that's going to keep you encouraged. So what are you doing? This is important. And again, make no mistake about it. I'm not encouraging you to do something that's extreme. All I'm encouraging you to do is to stay motivated and stay plugged up to your true source. So you are a champion. You are unstoppable. You are great. Do not let your mind flow into an ocean and drown in itself when you are the ocean. You see, you're creating your own emotions. You're creating this. And although life may throw a jab at you, you have the choice to stay there and let it hit you, to get out of the ring with it if you can, or maybe you just need to put up your dukes and fight back. And even if you can't fight back with your mind. Fight back with your heart. Fight back and help others. Don't be selfish. So my main message for today is for you to stay motivated, by staying inspired properly. And remember, motivation follows inspiration, no matter if the inspiration is negative or positive. So if you're not inspired properly, you can only be motivated improperly. And if you're inspired properly, you'll always be motivated properly. So again, recognize this true source of inspiration, this precept, this primordium, which is you're great, you're unstoppable, and you will conquer. But only if you watch your association right now, what you put into your mental domain, how you're taking care of yourself, your emotional state, and your physical state. Those are the things that are going to keep you plugged up properly. Think about all of what you put into your business. You can't quit. That should never be an option. No matter what happens, it should never be an option. If you are forced to let something go, it's not because you made the decision. You were forced to do it. Just like we all are forced to face this crisis. But make no mistake about it. If you stay plugged up to your true source, you will conquer and you will survive. It's been a pleasure. This is Isaac Miller, your motivational speaker, spoken word author, and artist, and I am inspiration. And you're welcome to order a copy of my book. And if you're in a crisis and you can't order a copy of my book, please email me. I'll send you a free copy. But regardless of what it is that you decide to do, order a copy. Is a perfect time to read this book, to just get up. So remember to just get up and manifest your inner genius. Please share this video with others. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay motivated. Stay positive. I love you and take care. Thank you.